Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to 12 at 12. I'm Scott McDonald.
I'm Emily Pritchard. It is primary election day around Arizona. We're keeping a close eye on two major races. The race for Arizona's next governor and the battle for a shot to unseat Senator Mark Kelly this November.
Let's give you a live look right now into the Maricopa County Elections Department. So there's plenty of eyes on the process. Here's a live look right now at the tabulation room, one of many. You can also see a couple of views from the ballot vaults, even a live look at a ballot drop box there. See the parking lot, that's the top right corner. Cars have been rolling up throughout the day to cast their vote and have their voice heard for who will make the general election ballot coming up in November.
In Pima County, voting machines are back in operation after a technical snafu. Arizona's GOP chairwoman, Kelly Ward, even calling attention to this issue on Twitter. Mark Evans, director of the Pima County Communications Office, telling 12 News one of the 200 ballot printers lost connection to e-poll books. But this afternoon, that printer has been replaced. The office reports all those issues happened before 8 this morning. So far, there have been no other issues reported. And 12 News is your 2022 election headquarters. We will have continuing coverage of the latest from the polls all day long. And this afternoon, we do have team coverage around the valley for you, tracking the latest developments. Team 12's Michael Dowdnap has his finger on the GOP primary. The winner of that race will face incumbent Senator Democrat Mark Kelly in November.
But we're going to kick off our team coverage this afternoon with Team 12's Jen Wall, tracking a very tight GOP primary battle in the governor's race. And Democrats will also determine their candidate for the general election today at the polls.
Jen, give us a better idea of the primary race for both parties and how the candidates are making their last pitch to voters before those polls close.
Yeah, good morning to you both. So we're live here in Paradise Valley. This is where the governor candidate for the Republican spot, Kari Lake, voted today here in Paradise Valley. She's, of course, going up against Karen Taylor Robeson. Now, polls showing the former TV news anchor Lake in the lead, but there's one that's showing something a little bit different this noon. The Real Clear Politics polling averages, which averages polls for races like this, shows Lake ahead of Robeson by about 9 points. One of the polls included in that average, OH Predictives, which was just released Friday. It reveals Lake ahead of Robeson by 18 points. That number surprising many because earlier in the race, OH Predictive showed a tighter matchup. Now, in contrast, that difference we just mentioned is another poll included in that average by Emerson College. It shows a dead heat between Robeson and Lake. Robeson coming in with 40% of the vote and Lake with 46%. Just 4% were undecided. We asked Lake about the poll results as she cast her vote today in Phoenix.
So the OH poll has you ahead. Emerson has you neck and neck with Robeson. What is your remarks to that?
Well, that was a bogus poll. 65% of the people they polled were landlines. I mean, how many of you have a landline? And if you do, how many of you answer it? So it was skewed very old, 75 plus, and she probably will do well there. She's very good at getting the older vote, but she can't reach the young people.
Lake has also garnered the support of former President Trump in the race. That launched a national battle as his former Vice President Mike Pence and Governor Doug Ducey are endorsing Robeson, her opponent. Now, Karen Taylor Robeson, a Mesa native, now real estate developer, is joining her father's political aspirations. He served in the state legislature for more than a decade. She took to Twitter today, encouraging her followers to step out and vote.
It's Election Day. I need you to go out and vote for the only true Republican in this race. I'm counting on you to help me defend Arizona from the radical left.
All right, so polls across Arizona open until 7 p.m. tonight. We do expect some of those results to start being released around 8 p.m. If you're still planning on heading out, make sure you take your ID with you, your voter card, if you have that as well. And if you're still holding on to an early ballot, no worries. You can turn it in at polling locations. For now, we're live in Paradise Valley. Jen Wall, 12 News.
Thank you, Jen. Appreciate all that important information for voters as they head to the polls this afternoon and into this evening. Jen, thank you.
While Jen keeps a close eye on the gubernatorial race in Arizona, likely coming down to Republicans Kari Lake and Karen Taylor Robeson and Katie Hobbs for the Democrats. The Senate race against Democrat Mark Kelly comes down to 5 candidates, 2 of them polling near the top.
Team 12's Michael Doudna live on top of both of those campaigns. Former President Trump's pick, Blake Masters, and entrepreneur and former Army officer Jim Lehman. Michael, break it down for all of us.
Yeah, guys, this is what it's all about. All the campaigning, all the ads, all the signs have come down to try to earn your vote, and the votes being cast and counted throughout the day. Because after all, well, it is decision day, and we'll soon learn which of those 5 folks in the Republican side of the U.S. Senate race will face Mark Kelly in November. Now, the 2 frontrunners, as you mentioned, according to the polls, are Blake Masters, the Trump-endorsed Peter Thiel-backed candidate, and billionaire Jim Lehman, who made his money in the energy sector. Both these candidates are very similar on the issues, and both say their #1 priority is the southern border. Both had one last pitch for the undecided voter.
We've been across the state. We've worked harder than all the other candidates combined, but that's what you have to do to go deserve and earn the vote. You know, as a business guy, as a veteran, right, you got to make sure that you're out there with the people, and I've heard loud and clear what their issues are.
I'm a fighter. You know, I know everyone says that, but I think people can tell I just mean what I say. You know, 30 years from now, my boys, they're 8, 6, and 2 years old right now. 30 years from now, they'll be my age. And my wish for them, and your kids and grandkids too, is that they're living in a country that works.
And we'll continue to cover this Senate race and all the candidates trying to vie for your vote to be on the November ballot on 12news.com, 12 News, and of course, the free 12 News app. We're live in Phoenix. Michael Doudna, 12 News.
Michael, thank you. All that voting tabulation will be happening in a few hours behind him.
We'll start getting busy in that building soon. Michael, thank you. And with candidates and parties fighting for your vote and intense political ads, national interviews, will their back and forth attacks make a difference?
Team 12's William Pitts uncovers Arizona's voter trends, giving us a better idea of what we can expect at the polls.
This map shows the percentage of voter turnout for the last 5 elections. Now, that's how many registered voters actually voted. The lighter the color, the less voter turnout the county had. Starting in 2012, you can see the voter turnout is fairly light except for the central core of the state, Phoenix, Flagstaff, Prescott. It goes down even more in 2014, the Obama midterms, hovering around 50% mostly. Then there's 2016, the general election that Trump won. Voter turnout goes way up, consistently over 60%. Then 2018, a little lighter for those midterms, but voters were more engaged than back in 2012. And in 2020, a massive shift. Every county in Arizona had voter turnout over 60%. It's by far the election with the biggest turnout. Now, this map also shows where the most politically active counties are in the state. Take a look at Yavapai County. They have the highest percentage of voter turnout in every single election since 2012. The only other county that comes close, but not quite as much, is down here in Pima County. That's Tucson area. Now, those are areas that can definitely bring in the votes if a candidate district runs through them. And if you're running for statewide office, those areas can help make or break your campaign. William Pitts, 12 News.
Thank you, William. 12 News is your election headquarters. We have extended coverage from the polls all day long and full election results as they come in all evening long. Of course, that's happening right here on 12 News on TV and also online.